All right, we're here at Nixon County Park, one of the 11 York County parks. The county commissioners established the park system in 1968 with Rocky Ridge as our first York County park. We currently maintain over 4,500 acres of parkland, including Richard Nixon Park, which is our primary education center. Hi, I'm Kelsey Fry, the Manager of Education and Outreach for York County Parks. This is the map of Nixon County Park, and we're right here at the Nature Center. From here, you can hike all different directions on our 6 miles of trails through all different kinds of wildlife habitats. You can pass our pond that imitates a beaver pond and usually has turtles out basking. You can go over to our nature play space where kids can play in the creek. You can hike out to our wetlands and walk through the cattails, over to our maple grove where we make maple syrup each year. You can also hike up the hills through the forest to see lots of different evidence of animals like a white-tailed deer. All right, stepping into the Nature Center, this is the original section that was opened in 1980, focusing on Pennsylvania wildlife. This is the area where we teach over 100 school field trips a year about environmental education, like animal habitats and adaptations, and how we interact with our environment every day. So over here, we have some of our live animal ambassadors that help teach our school field trips. We have 2 eastern rat snakes on display. Right here is Dawn, our younger rat snake, and down here is Midnight, our older rat snake. And then we have some gray tree frogs on display here. We use these animals to teach about food webs and how important every animal is in the food web and to the environment. This is one of our newer exhibits focusing on the amazing bird diversity that's found here in Pennsylvania. We have over 300 different birds that migrate through or nest in Pennsylvania. And this exhibit talks about the different shapes and sizes and construction materials that are found in their nests. This giant chair for kids to sit in imitates a Baltimore Oriole nest. And they make a pendulum-shaped nest that hangs down from the branches. Kids are invited to go throughout the Nature Center and look for nesting materials that they can add on to the Baltimore Oriole nest before getting their picture taken in the Oriole nest. Over the years, generous York County hunters have donated some of their taxidermy of local animals that they have seen or hunted in the area, from this raccoon to the gray foxes, red foxes, and turkeys. There's all kinds of Pennsylvania taxidermy visible in this first section of the Nature Center. Here we have a 3-toed box turtle, which is another one of our education animals that helps us teach about eastern box turtles and the 14 species of turtles found throughout Pennsylvania. Sheldon is a box turtle because, unlike most turtles, he can close and open the bottom of his shell, called his plastron. It has a hinge on the bottom that can open and close like a box or a present can. And so since he doesn't swim away from predators like snapping turtles and painted turtles you would find in the pond, he has to be able to protect himself without being able to flee quickly. So he closes his shell like a box or a present. This is an eastern mud turtle, an example of an aquatic turtle that can speed away really quickly with its webbed feet and that camouflages with rocks in the bottom of a stream. This exhibit on reptiles and amphibians teaches people about different habitats that are vital for these animals to survive, why we need them, and what concerns are causing their decline. Visitors can pick up the amphibian and try to find the habitat where it belongs, like this frog that lives here in the pond habitat. Now we're entering a newer part of the Nature Center that was built in 1992 called the Treasury of Wildlife. It showcases taxidermy from around the world that we use to teach about animal adaptations like predators from prey, including like a hippo and a giraffe and how they're the same and different from each other in the African savanna. We also teach about big cats like the leopard and the cheetah and the lion and how they hunt for prey. We like to talk about the elephant, and we have an elephant tusk that visitors can feel. The tooth turned into a tusk for the elephant, adaptations to help them dig for water, knock over branches for food, and protect themselves. This is the Northwest Territory exhibit that focuses on wildlife found in Western United States and Canada, including animals like the bobcat, the black bear, the mountain lion, the white-tailed deer, and the mule deer, the coyote, and the wolverine and badger are also on display here. These animals teach kids about animal habitats and how they're adapted to live in different climates and different conditions. We also have a Kodiak bear, 2 Kodiak bears on display that are from Alaska, an elk and some caribou that are here in the tundra habitat. This is the Arctic diorama that features animals found within the Arctic Circle around the North Pole. Animals such as the polar bear and the musk ox and the snowy owl are found here, and they all have amazing adaptations for surviving a 9-month winter that can get into the -40s. They have thick fur coats, they have thick layers of fat and blubber. They have wide furry paws for walking on top of snow, and all kinds of other adaptations for surviving in cold climates. This is our pond life exhibit at Nixon Park that teaches about different types of wildlife that would be found around reservoirs, beaver ponds, or streams and rivers, which are common throughout York County. Here we can see about the mammals of York County, such as this muskrat, and then read a fun fact about the muskrat as you interact with the exhibit. I can be seen swimming under the ice to find aquatic plant roots to eat. And then you can open the drawers and feel what a real muskrat feels like and how special the fur is for staying warm in cold water swimming under the ice. Here's a mink. And here's a beaver that you can feel. On our way down to our classrooms, you can see over 45 different species of deer and antelope, including right here we have some pronghorn antelopes and some of the different deer from around the world. Then it switches over to antelopes, mostly from Africa, that have horns, not antlers. The diversity of horns is just amazing. This amazing collection of eggs was collected in the 1880s and 90s by a local York resident, George Miller. George Miller collected about 100 different types of mostly bird eggs, and they're on display right now at Nixon Park. It has our largest egg, the ostrich egg, and the smallest egg, the hummingbird egg. Thanks for taking this short tour of Nixon County Park, part of the York County Park System. You can learn more about us at yorkcountyparks.org, and you can visit the Nature Center Tuesday through Sunday. We're only closed on Mondays and holidays.